Have you ever wanted to feel like your favorite anime character? Maybe even live that fantasy of using one of your favorite anime character's powers? Well, look no further than this video. This is Destiny 2 anime builds, where I take fan favorite anime characters and make a build based around them in Destiny 2. In this video, I am going to be making a prismatic build for all three characters based around Black Flash from Jujutsu Kaisen. I am going to be starting with the Titan build, then the Warlock build, and then finally the Hunter build. Before I show you the builds though, there's one thing in each build that stays the same. For all three, I recommend using a Solar Super to have Restoration as a way of healing. I don't use one for the builds in my clips, however after testing them, Solar Supers work the best with these builds. So now, let's get started with the Titan. For the Titan build, we are going to be using Point Contact Cannon Brace along with Thunderclap as our Black Flash ability. For our exotic weapon, we are going to be using Monte Carlo so we have a way to get our melee back insanely quick. Next, for our aspects, we are going to use Knockout for synergy with our melee and Diamond Lance just as an extra way of generating dark energy and for ad clear. For this build, you can use any grenade you want, but I went with the Shackle Grenade just to generate even more dark energy, and because it's a great grenade to run overall. Here are the fragments that I found work great with this build, and finally here are the mods I used in this build. Now I'm going to play a clip of how this build looks in actual gameplay. Next up is Warlock. For this build, we are going to be using Fellwinter's Helm so that our melee is pretty much guaranteed to one-shot most enemies. And of course, we are using Monte Carlo for instant uptime on our melee. Next, we are going to be using Arcane Needle for our melee so that way we get 3 melee charges. For our aspects, we are using Lightning Surge to act as our Black Flash and Feed the Void for Devour. Next, here are the fragments that I found work best with this build, and finally, here are the mods I used for this build. Now I will show a clip of gameplay to show how this build looks in-game. Finally, here's the Hunter build. For our weapon, we are actually going to be using Exotic Kvastov for this one, and for our armor, we are going to be running Liar's Handshake. For our Black Flash melee, I'm going to be running, you guessed it, Combination Blow. For our aspects, you're going to want to run Stylish Executioner for invisibility on ability kills, and Winter's Shroud to generate our class ability very fast, which is actually very important as we are going to be using Gambler's Dodge to instantly get our melee back. Here are the fragments I found work best with this build, and finally here are the mods I used to perfect this build. Now I'm going to show a clip to show this build in actual gameplay. If you stuck around this long and found this video helpful or entertaining, make sure to drop a like and subscribe so I can keep making content like this, and have a wonderful rest of your day.